Kung Fu Panda 4 was directed by Mike Mitchell and it stars Jack Black as Po. And this movie takes place 8 years after the events of Kung Fu Panda 3. So in this movie we have Po who's living his normal life as the Dragon Warrior until Master Shifu tells Po that he needs to pick someone else to be the next Dragon Warrior, and Po just makes a refusement out of it, and he just says no. And then until Po meets a new character named Zen, who's voiced by Awkwafina, who tells Po himself about this villain, about this evil villain named the Chameleon, who's a reptile who can shapeshift into other animals and other things. And now Po and Zen must work together as a team to stop the Chameleon, and now we got our movie. And I know this review is super late, and I apologize about that, but that doesn't matter. Let's just continue with this review. I was really looking forward to this movie, is mainly because I actually loved the Kung Fu Panda franchise for a very long time, since the events of the first movie. I mean, as a kid, I actually loved the first movie. I loved the first movie. I thought it was funny, silly, the action was pretty good. There was some moments that actually were pretty funny. Kung Fu Panda 2, on the other hand, I thought it was pretty funny and kind of felt dark. Somewhat, probably due to Poe's backstory in Kung Fu Panda 2. In Kung Fu Panda 3, I thought it was pretty funny, and some of the action was actually pretty cool. In this film, it's basically the same as the last 3 movies. So, with this movie, I've been hearing mixed reviews about this movie, and I was like, okay, let me figure out what's going on. After watching the movie, I didn't see anything wrong with this movie until I found out there were some things that kind of caught my attention. There were some things I like, and I think there were like 1 or 2 things I don't like. But starting off with the positives, the trailer for this movie was when I first saw the trailer for this movie, the trailers were actually pretty good. I mean, I did enjoy the trailers as much as I really quite enjoyed them still, like, quite a bit. But with that down, I guess that's pretty much it for that. But like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. With this movie, in my opinion, I actually loved this movie. I thought it was kind of funny, but there were some things that kind of caught my attention that could have been quite better. That is all. So let's talk about the actors and the characters themselves. Starting off with is Jack Black as Po. Now, Jack Black is back to reprise his role as Po, and Po is finally back on the big screen after 8 years since the events of Kung Fu Panda 3. So, with Po here, Po just doesn't want to make a change. He just wants to continue being the Dragon Warrior. And I was like, dude, you've been the Dragon Warrior since the events of the first movie, and since the last 3 movies that you were in. You've been the Dragon Warrior for a very long time. And now he doesn't want to move on. He doesn't want to change. I mean, he doesn't want to make a change. He just wants to continue doing the things that he wants to do, like being the Dragon Warrior, going out in the fields, and kicking a lot of ass. And that is it. Until he meets up with a new character named Zen, who's voiced by Awkwafina. And I actually love their chemistry together, and I do like their chemistry, and I like the way they work together as a team and work together as partners and put a stop to the Chameleon. And also what I really liked about Po also, and I really like the fact that he is actually a badass. Yeah, he's a badass. He does kick a lot of ass and tell some jokes and make the audience and the critics laugh. And that is all I can say for Po. That is it. And Jack Black is really good as Po, as he always is, and that is pretty much it for Po. Next up is Dustin Hoffman as Master Shifu. Now, Master Shifu is not really in the movie too much. I mean, there's something, like, let me tell you. So, in this movie, he wants Po to depict the next Dragon Warrior. He's like, Po, you've been the Dragon Warrior for a very long time, and now you have to pick the next one to be the next Dragon Warrior, and Po just doesn't want to. So, with Master Shifu, I can understand that he probably wants Po, but Po wants Po to do new things, and probably pick the next Dragon Warrior, basically, and that is pretty much it. I mean, like I said, he isn't in the movie too much. I mean, there's sometimes he is, there's sometimes he's not. I mean, like, throughout the entire movie, he is, well, technically, there's some half that you do see him a lot, but there's, like, throughout the entire movie, you don't really see him as much, and until that, and that's pretty much it. And Dustin Hoffman is really good as Master Shifu, and it's so good to see Shifu again. And that's pretty much it for Master Shifu. Next up is the returning villain from the first movie that we have seen in the trailer is Ian McShane as Tai Lung. Now, when I first saw him when I first saw Tai Lung in the first trailer of Kung Fu Panda 4, I literally lost my mind. I said, "Oh my god, I feel like a kid again." Seeing Tai Lung from the first movie, because it's been almost 16 years. Because Kung Fu Panda came out in the year 2008. That was 16 years. That was like 16 years ago. Now, 16 years later, Tai Lung is back, but he's not in the movie all that much. All I know is he's not really in the movie all that much. I mean, I think he's only in the movie probably at least twice or three times. You actually do see him in at least probably like 2 or 3 scenes in the movie, and he's just gone throughout the entire movie, and that's pretty much it. But I guess that's pretty much it for that. And Ian McShane is really good as Tai Lung in the movie, and that's all I can say for Tai Lung. And Tai Lung is so good to see you again after all these years. Now we get to the new characters. Next up we get to Awkwafina as Zen. Now Zen, on the other hand, I mean, I thought Zen was an A-OK character, but I do like the chemistry. I like the chemistry between her and Poe, and she discovers about what the chameleon can do, and you do discover about her past. You do discover you will discover about her past. I do. And then I like the fact that her and Poe work together as a team to fight against the chameleon. And also, she's a thief in this movie. And yeah, she's recently a thief, potentially, in this film. And that is all I can say for, that's all I can say for Zen. I mean, she does have some funny moments, but there were some moments I just wish she did a little bit better, but I do respect her for trying. But, I mean, I thought she was alright as an A-OK character, but I'm not gonna lie, I mean, she's actually a pretty cool character. That's all I can say. And Awkwafina is really good as Zen. Like I said, I think Zen could have put out a little bit more laughs. I mean, there were some jokes and some laughs that I kind of laughed at, but there were some jokes that didn't really land for me. And that's all I can say. That's all I can say for Zen. Then last but not least, the main villain of this movie is Viola Davis as the chameleon. Now, like I said, the chameleon can actually shapeshift. She's the main villain of this movie. Now, the chameleon is actually a reptile who can actually shapeshift into different animals by disguising herself as other animals like an elephant, a tiger, maybe a lion or a rabbit or a snake, etc. And man, this villain is actually pretty cool. I actually like this villain, and she's actually a badass villain as well. And that is pretty much all. That is all I can say. But one thing I want to talk about, she's probably sometimes not in the movie all that much. Yeah, she isn't in the movie too much. I just wish the movie kind of relaxes and just pop, so we can actually see what she can. So I wish the movie can actually relax, so we can spend a little bit more time with her. That's it. But one more thing I kind of want to mention. I just wish the movie actually explains her powers. I kind of lost track a little bit from the movie. I might have to rewatch the movie again. But the thing is, I think her powers could have been explained in the movie of how she can shapeshift into other animals, into other characters, and that is pretty much it for that. And I actually love this villain a lot. She's actually, in my opinion, one of my favorite villains of all times. And Viola Davis as the chameleon is really good in this movie, and easily one of the best badass villains throughout the entire Kung Fu Panda franchise. And that's pretty much it for the chameleon. And that's it for the actors and the characters themselves. Let's talk about the action sequences. The action sequences are pretty good. There were some action sequences there were some action sequences that were funny. There was some that took things very seriously. And actually, no, there's some action sequences that were actually pretty funny and a lot of fun. It showed us a lot of fun and excitement. And also, the final battle in this movie, is awesome. I love the final battle. Poe and Zen fighting against the chameleon. That is awesome. I actually liked that in the final battle. And that's all I can say for the action. And for the animation, on the other hand, the animation is actually pretty good. But when I was watching the movie and seeing the trailer, for all I know, I feel like the animation kind of felt different from the last three movies. But no, I think the animation kind of felt the same, or mostly it does feel the same. But it's somewhat different just a little bit, because I can tell the looks of it. But yeah, the animation is actually pretty good. That's all I mean, the animation, I ain't gonna lie, the animation is great. And there were like probably like one or two problems of the movie. I mean, I feel like the biggest issue I have with the movie, I think sometimes the film kind of rushes things through a little bit, like get the movie going. I'm like, look, I get it. You're trying to get to the point, but you didn't have to rush it through. I just wish the movie kind of relaxes. It just takes its time. It just takes its time to see that, so we can know what's going on. And yes, it does. There's some times where the movie actually takes its time, but there's some times where the film kind of feels a little bit rushed, just quite a bit, just rushing back and forth. And I was like, yeah, I think the movie needs to slow down just for a little bit. But it does slow down quite a bit, but there's some times where there was some moments that kind of felt rushed. And the rest of the movie, on the other hand, there were some jokes that kind of land. There were some jokes that I really quite enjoyed, but there was some. I mean, there was some jokes that didn't really land for me quite a bit, to be honest. I mean, I just tried to laugh at that scene, but then I was like, okay, that doesn't work for me. And also one thing that I want to talk about: the Furious Five have been absent from this movie, and I saw that I knew they weren't going to be in this movie, and I was like, wait, where's the Furious Five? Actually, the movie actually explains it, where the Furious Five are. I won't tell you. You guys see the movie yourself. I just wish the Furious Five came back for this movie. I think that's the biggest issue I have with this movie. I understand maybe DreamWorks, when they did this, I think because when DreamWorks did this movie, maybe they wanted to take things into a different direction, or is it the budgeting, or maybe the original voice actors couldn't be able to come back right now because they had like other things going on, which is understandable. So I was like, well, I get it, but where's the Furious Five? Like I said, the movie actually explains it, but I won't tell you. You guys see the movie yourself, like I said. I just missed the Furious Five. It's just that it's been a while since we've seen them. So hopefully we'll probably like see them like later on in the future. So anything about this movie, I feel like the plot kind of like just got me a little bit confused on the nose, but the plot for this movie is fine. I just wish the plot could have been better, and the storytelling is great, but sometimes the storytelling on the other hand, on the other side, just doesn't feel properly right. Could have been better. That is all I can say. But anything else about this movie? Yeah, there was some mixed reactions about this movie, but there was some laughs and some jokes that actually land for me for the most part. But I guess that's pretty much wraps it up for Kung Fu Panda 4. What do you think of this movie? Do you like this movie? Do you like it? Do you don't like it? But for me, I quite enjoyed it. But like I said, there was some nitpicks I actually had with this movie. Yeah, there were some nitpicks I actually had with this movie, and that is all I can say for Kung Fu Panda 4, and there's nothing much else to say. So be sure to like, subscribe, press the notification button, follow me on Instagram, comment down below, and I'll see you in my next video, and thank you for watching.